What's good, everybody? Welcome back for another recap, review, reaction, in explain, Easter eggs, theories, breakdowns, all that stuff I look for here with your good folks at the Culture Collective. As today, we're going to be talking about episode 304, which is titled Time to See the King. Where in this episode, the synopsis states Tommy finds a way to protect D-Mac. Jenard mends fences to please Shanti. So, Lucas, how you doing today? How you feeling, brother?
Hey, I thought we were about to see a classic scene in this movie, in this show. I'm sorry. I said movie because everybody should know the movie I'm thinking about. The moment Tommy grabbed that goddamn engine, I said, oh, it's Diamond gonna stop the engine right before it smashes into main man like Vin Diesel did on Fast and the Furious. I was like, oh man. I've been trying to prove that scene is unrealistic, the most unrealistic scene in Fast and the Furious forever. But if Diamond grabbed that damn chain and stopped that engine, you just proved me wrong.
hey, yo. I'm never going to see a raw in Fast and Furious. It knows exactly what it is.
The moment he grabbed the chain from an engine, that was it for me right there. I was like, oh, this nigga's a superhero.
Yeah, I mean, he don't forget he stumped the ground and he made that whole joint, the whole parking garage collapse. Don't forget about that. Oh man. But yeah, episode 304, Time to See the King. There's a lot to make with this episode. It's a great episode. But let's just start off right at the top. And before we get into that, definitely everybody again continued support and love throughout the season with the coverage and whatnot. Hopefully we get in the questions, the answers to the questions that you all want. And anything else y'all trying to figure out, will be a part of the conversation with us. Get in the chat, get in the comments, do whatever. Hit us up on socials. Let us know your thoughts and your theories, your predictions. Anything you think we got wrong, anything you just got a whole nother take about. We all about that right here. So that's what it is. And we here the entire season. We're starting off the top of this episode. Now, I gotta tell you, having the chance to talk to Gary Lennon earlier this season, I asked about his sort of approach with YNs, right? And y'all can watch that. It's on the channel. But what's more importantly is I have to tell you, yo, D-Mac Lucien, he's been, yo. Yeah. You can tell he's not that far removed from this lifestyle.
Hey, clearly.
Because
this is the most realistic YN I've seen on screen.
You know,
this is ridiculous.
It's to the point where, like, I think we all can definitively agree that there's been great writing this season. And I find it hard to believe that adults can write for YNs this authentic without some type of consultation with them, which, you know, Gary already confirmed. Because it's just like men writing for women or white people writing for black people. Well, old people writing for YNs, it just doesn't make sense, you know? So you have to have them in the room and like, we got to get this energy. We got to get the conversation, the dialogue. We got to get all of this right. And I got to tell you, off break, I was like, yeah, they're killing it with this. So Tommy, Diamond, and D-Mac, as Tommy shows up immediately after we left off from last episode, where he's like, what do you mean he's back at CBI? And he tells D-Mac, you got to answer to me. And I don't give a fuck what Diamond told you what the deal is. I'm Unc. You got to answer to me. And with all of that, you know, this is basically, and there's a lot to really break down with here. So I'm not going to go down every point. So I'm going to give it back to you in a minute. Matter of fact, let's just go to you right now. What did you think about sort of the exchange of words between Tommy and Diamond, and then D-Mac shenanigans, where D-Mac kind of stood 10 toes down, like, nah, I put in the work, I earned my stripes, I'm in CBI.
That's what makes this the most realistic YN conversation humanly possible. Because he should be terrified of his uncle, and he can't. He's just like, I put in work, I'm staying. Like, what? You don't even make any sense here. Like, how you telling the other leader of CBI, I'm in CBI, and it ain't nothing you can do about it. Like, it's I love the back and forth we get, especially with D-Mac, because it comes across as him being disrespectful and reckless, but then you got to realize, and it's always good to bring back, he's still a kid.
Yeah.
He's literally reacting like you would expect a kid to react. Like, no, I did this and you can't take it away from me. He is throwing a temper tantrum in here, and Tommy is losing his mind because of it. So that's the first part of it. Second part is between Tommy and Diamond. Diamond thinks really quickly on his feet because he came up with that entire lie really fast. And
it's what I was saying to you last week. I said, like, Diamond intelligence to like operate into like team play, situational awareness is like Diamond is 1 billion% the best wingman of a leader I've ever seen.
Yeah,
that's why, like, you know, we always got to do the comparisons here. And actually, let's just have a little fun here when it comes down to running the streets and territories. Who's the better fit for Tommy? Is it Diamond or is it Ghost?
Oh, it's Ghost. It's not even close.
I want to hear this. I want to hear this. I really do.
It's because I believe Tommy thinks at any given point in time he could just kill Diamond and do everything on his own.
He felt that way about Ghost for a little bit, though.
No, he wanted to kill Ghost. He fully understood who the brains of the operation was. He was just fed up with Ghost at that point in time. It would never get to the point of him being as fed up as he was with Ghost. He would never get that way with Diamond because he would kill him way before that. Like, it's a certain way that Ghost was able to operate. Plus, I don't believe Tommy thinks Diamond is as much of a killer as Ghost was. Like, as crazy as we think Tommy is, we gotta really remember, I saw Ghost sprint down the street and try to kill a woman in broad daylight. He was just as crazy as Tommy was. And that's why that dynamic works so well, because I don't think Ghost ever respected the intelligence of Tommy. He respected the point that Tommy was a killer, but Tommy fully respected the point that Ghost would do whatever Tommy was willing to do. Diamond, we always see as a hesitation because this level of violence, I don't think it's normal for Diamond. And I think that's why he could think so quickly on his feet, because the moment Tommy started talking to him, he knew in his head, oh, he'd kill me in a heartbeat. I need to come up with something. And he came up with it beautifully to say, man, I'm doing this to protect him. And then he got, again, as I said, the best lie is a lie with a little bit of truth.
Yeah.
So he finally had to reveal to Tommy what D-Mac did. And then that made his lie more believable.
Let's have a little bit more fun here. So first of all, y'all get in the comments. Who do y'all think is the better partner for Tommy, Diamond or Ghost, when it comes down to building, running an operation, etc., as Lucas has just answered? But let's change the circumstances just a little bit here, because as much as you are praising everything that's happened with Tommy, you also got to kind of think about the maturity of what Tommy has been through to get him to a place to be having these type of meetings with the likes of Che and so on, because he had to go through basically the whole season of Power and learning how Ghost operates to understand how to actually do this. Because Ghost said, Tommy, you're not coming to these meetings because you aren't capable of being there. Like, you aren't. He was giving the Jenard treatment in a way. He's like,
that's the dynamic. That's what I get surprised that people don't really remember. The dynamic of Ghost and Tommy is the dynamic of Diamond and Jenard.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, that's their dynamic.
So I question now, who do you think is the better fit for Tommy post-Ghost? I mean, pre-Ghost, so pretty early Power, and Tommy then, or with Diamond before he went to jail.
So you're saying
if you take Tommy before he linked up with Ghost, I'm sorry, not before he linked up with Ghost, before he went through everything with Ghost, and then you have that dynamic, or you have the Tommy with Jenard before he went to jail. I mean, excuse me, Diamond before he went to jail. Sorry.
See, the part is, we haven't really seen exactly how Diamond was before he went to jail.
Who do you think he was then? That's what I want to hear. You craft that character. I want to know what you thought Diamond was before he went in.
I think he thinks a little more, but he's always seems to be more strategic. He was never overtly reckless. So, but he couldn't handle a younger Tommy, because a younger Tommy would have just killed him. because the younger Tommy's not even thinking about having a partner. Like, if you're not, if we really think about it, the younger Tommy, if you weren't Ghost or Kanan, you were dead. He was going to kill you if he thought you got in his way. So I think, like, it's. I think the saying is, what Erykah Badu said. I guess I'll meet you next lifetime. They met each other next lifetime, and that's why this works. It's because Tommy has matured to this person who, while he is still kind of reckless, he really does think out a lot of the things he does.
Yeah.
And he understands the business more. And Diamond is possibly calmer now. And he could take on and understand when he doesn't have to be the overt alpha anymore. Running CBI at one point, he probably had to be the complete alpha.
Yeah.
And now he's dealing with somebody who he's probably like, nah, I can sit back, lay back, and chill. And I could be the voice of reason and not the reckless person anymore.
Yeah, it's I really like the Diamond character because I feel like if I was going to run things, I would want to be Diamond. Like, I don't have to say a lot. I don't have to threaten people. People respect me to the point. The one thing we should also remember here, and I don't know how it plays dividends going forward, but the YNs respect him, and it's not even a question of that. They legitimately fall in line.
They look up to him. Yeah, they look up to Diamond.
And he's not even. We haven't seen him really in the big homie aspect of it yet, because you kind of imagine that. There's got to be interactions with them taking care of them, or him possibly even try to stir them in the right direction. But whatever it is, like, they respect him. Che respects him.
That's the way to look at it here. Would you prefer to have the respect of the corporate world or the YNs? That is literally the difference between Diamond and Ghost.
So you say,
like, I would have put this a little closer.
Do you want the territories in Chicago or the Queen's Child Project?
Hey, fuck, he was going to be mayor of New York City. Like, James St. Patrick was going to run everything. And again, I'd have put this a little closer until someone did a montage of Ghost's best moments, and it was all about the way he was responding to people. And we're so far removed from the original series Power that we kind of forget just how crazy Ghost was in the calmest way human. He threatened to murder so many people in a three-piece suit and was so calm he did it. Like, that is a different level of crazy, Joe.
Yeah.
And Diamond don't got a Tasha. So, I mean, that's another point too.
Yeah.
When Diamond mush a chick in her face with 2 fingers, he do that. We can't have a conversation.
Oh man! All right, so this is the end out this first scene. So again, Diamond making it very clear that him and Tommy are equals. And what else they go over here? And
just the plan.
And then and then the other thing too, like the terms of Diamond coming up with the reason why he had to bring him in. I still don't get this aspect of Tommy feeling like D-Mac did this for CBI, and Tommy's like, no, he did this for you to get a good favor for you. And then he laid it all out and said, like, gotta keep him alive, figure out a way to protect him, and so on and so on. But he also lets him know about everything with King Kilo, and then he also talks about they need to meet with the SODs, meet with Rashawn tomorrow, because he thinks they're trying to get out. But yeah, I guess I don't understand, and maybe it is a lot of what we just said, that as much as D-Mac is trying to get back in the CBI, it ain't so much in the pleasing CBI, because when you say that, it's almost like D-Mac did that move to please his uncle, which we know is definitely not on his radar at all. But if he knew if he got back good in with Diamond, then he would get back in the crew and whatnot.
Yeah, Diamond is his way into CBI. It ain't Tommy.
Yeah,
and you remember the person that D-Mac killed was someone who was causing issues for Diamond.
Yeah,
and that's why Tommy was like, no, he didn't do that for CBI. He did that for you. He did that to impress you. But again, it goes back to what you said. These young dudes really respect Diamond a lot, and D-Mac is one of them. And he can't get in with his uncle, so go to the next leader.
Yeah. All right, so now we got D-Mac and Jen. And you know what's interesting, really quickly? Because the same reason that that Diamond mentioned about King Kilo nephew being brought in by blood, or what do you say, affiliated by blood or respected by blood, whatever he said. Shouldn't D-Mac also get that same sort of rub with Tommy?
Oh, he definitely did. But that's why Diamond lied. He understood. He understood the threat. He fully understood the threat. But getting into CBI is different because your uncle don't want you in CBI.
Yeah.
Like, I think it would be different if Tommy came in and just said, I don't care what D-Mac did. He's in. It wouldn't be a question about it.
Yeah. All right, so next thing we get D-Mac and Jensen. I'm gonna go through speed through some of these smaller scenes. You just stop me if anything that needs to be talked about. But it's just him and Genesis, and Genesis isn't impressed about any of the street stuff. She wants him to get his diploma or PhD, get out of school. But she's not impressed by none of the street antics. He said the will she was, but she didn't care about the chain because she know the type of attention it's going to bring. The door is constantly knocking. And it's so funny because she definitely hit the who that D-Mac? Who at your door? See, this is shit I'm talking about.
You ain't gonna go answer that. Every man knows when a woman says you ain't gonna go answer that, she thinks it's another woman on the
100%. That's why she got off the phone, because as soon as she heard it was a dude, she didn't want to make a fool of herself, so she just got out of there real quick. Yeah,
we know.
Yeah, it ain't got nothing to do with attention. She just didn't want to be wrong there because she damn sure was sold. It was a woman. We know there.
Just the lengths women are willing to go to not to be wrong.
Yep. Oh, my service bad. Let me. Bye.
Quick. That service get bad real quick too.
But Tommy comes in and he wants to confirm about him killing Mad Dog, and he wanted to know if Diamond put him up to it. He said no, he did it for CBI. And then D-Mac goes into full YN mode because Tommy lets it very clear this was reckless. You're an amateur. But D-Mac says, nah, I'm really him. He'll put down King Kilo too. And he still
that was the moment there that you'd be like, yep, ain't no way Gary wrote that. y'all got a little YN writer on y'all staff or something.
Yeah, y'all do.
Y'all got a lot of
junior writer in that writing room. Yep. We know it.
Because the moment he said, nah, Uncle, you don't understand. I'm really him. You know how many times I've heard that? Like, are you crazy? What you mean you really him? And then the biggest killer that Diamond is terrified of, he's like, man, I'll put him down too. Like, see.
I gotta tell you, Lucian, for a while we kind of wondered what was going to be the deal with the D-Mac story because they really haven't given us much. But I forgive everything in the past now if he's going to keep acting like this. Yeah, I'm cool. Forget whatever issues we had then. I'll have limited memory
together at this point. That's all I need.
Yeah, honestly. Hey, what's up, cuz? You're like, oh shit, I heard all about what you do. Man, I tell you, man, in a different time period, if this was working,
that would be
right.
Everybody,
Breeze, Kanan, and D-Mac. Oh my God.
No, I go even further than that. Everybody has been waiting to see what's the combination of people that would be a young Tommy and Ghost. It's literally Tariq and D-Mac.
Yeah.
A young Tommy and a young Ghost. Because D-Mac is a young Tommy. He is super reckless for no reason, and Tariq can outthink in any situation.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Oh, that would be so
man.
funny.
But anyway, Tommy takes the gun. He told him to keep his head down. And he also made it very clear that, CBI don't need him for anything, but he also knows he's never going to change his mind about wanting to be down or whatever. But yeah, he takes the gun because he's going to fix the problem. Stacey Marks and the crew, including Hartwick, so they want to know how Ortega is still operating from the lockdown. Of course, it's a burner, y'all. And they want to know where Sang is at, which we all know Sang is working as a double agent here. But Bobby comes in, and Bobby, first of all, I got to just say, very impressed by how Bobby comes in and you automatically know it's awkward. It's how he stormed in now. No warm and fuzzies with my wife. It's all business in here. He locked in, but he says it's important. And this is him letting them know that there is a fentanyl crisis going on. There's a bunch of people who's overdosed. And because not only because it's students, but because it has affected the LGBTQ plus community, they understand that they're not going to be able to keep this quiet for long. The visibility of it, The community is behind it. The amplification of the media. They need to figure out what's going on. But they quickly seem to come to terms that this seems to align with the arrival of the Marquez Cartel.
Yeah.
And with that, Stacy knows exactly who she needs to talk to, which is in this case Claudia. Tommy and Vic. Tommy comes in, pulls a gun on Vic, makes him his bitch for a quick second. But anyway, he says, well, Vic says he's done everything for him, but he says, I didn't, not everything. And he gives him the gun. And he gives him the gun and said, I need you to give me more. And Vic brings up the whole financial situation with Stacy that would hopefully get Tommy off his back. But he realizes with the financial blunders that Stacy's having and trying to run for mayors, that if he makes a very sizable donation to her campaign, that's a way of like getting her under his thumb. So yeah, she's hurting. Sizable donation is going to fix things, and makes it very clear that's going to come from a bit scary drug dealer. Now, I tell you, we talked about this just a minute ago. Tommy doesn't make this move without everything that occurred in Power.
Absolutely not.
This doesn't even make. This is not a Tommy move at all.
This is
a ghost move. This is and it's so much of a ghost move that it's a Tariq move, because Tariq did it for Tate. Which we know, which we've seen Ghost do it on both ends, receiving and giving. So,
hey yo,
yeah, pause. But it's cool to see how the storytelling aspect of it works.
Yes.
That the little, nuggets here and there that you can say, like, Ghost has been probably one of the best written characters in this genre, to the point that there seems to be no potential for Mari ever coming back, or Ghost will get young Ghost, I guess. But there's no further expansion of the storytelling of this character, that it still plays so much dividends in everything that is happening going forward. And
here,
really,
you go ahead.
No, you.
I'll tell you, but here, what's going to be the best part of this show is it's going to be a dinner or something, and Stacey's going to turn around and they're going to say, "Let me introduce you to your big donor." It's going to be fucking Tommy, and she's going to lose her mind. It's a great plan to put in place, because at this point, the moment they take the money and they cash the money, they use the money, Tommy's protected forever.
Yeah.
Because her career is over if he's not protected. So like she's battling to catch him now, but unfortunately her assistant has taken a donation from him. At this point, she has to protect Tommy.
Yeah.
Because he can't be dirty. Because if he's dirty, she's dirty.
Yes. Yeah, and I think it's interesting, because I think at some point it's going to be clear where it came from. And she can do all this pleading the fifth or just plausible deniability, but we all know how politics work. They're going to try to figure out exactly where it came from. And the moment that exactly. So yeah, you're right. Protect him, not in the sense of just his well-being, but his image too. Because if it traces back everything that she's working for, and then we again in the interview with Miriam, and now y'all can kind of read between the lines of what she was saying. She's trying to build an empire, and her saying she wants to build an empire is her statement of saying, like, she needs to be mayor. This is what she wants to do. She doesn't care about anything on the way to it. Obviously, her relationship or marriage got thrown to the side. The people in her office, which is going to be her demise, I would imagine, because the moment you start to overlook Singh and everything he's doing, it's going to come to bite you. No, that's going to be another
cover up.
It absolutely
all
will.
Set up cover up.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting, and you got to have the money.
Cartels can't penetrate your office and you not know about it, and at the same time, you take money from a huge drug dealer who's lenting to your camp. All of that got to be covered up. None of that can ever be exposed.
Yeah. All right, so Jenard and Shanti now, and Shanti's just thinking Jenard's just been constantly lying to her, and this is basically them just talking about the handling of DMAC and what's the best play here. And Jenard said, I got to lock in Diamond's trust. That's the way we're going to get Jay. She obviously doesn't care about that. She wants them removed so that they can be the new heads. But, you know, I think she's speaking out of anger because whatever she's thinking is going to happen is not going to happen. You're not going to remove Diamond and Tommy, and all of a sudden you're getting the meeting with Jay. You don't have the soldiers. You don't have the territory. You don't even have a presence in the damn coalition. Like, it ain't working. In the moment you even thought Miguel is right there and he's shutting it down. So,
well, she's trying to Dick Cheney Jenard. So if she could pull that off, like, it works perfectly for her. Like, I think that's the goal, is you could be the face, but I'm running everything. Again, it goes back to the interview when they asked who was wearing the pants, and Jenard said, I think it's equal. It's not. It's Shanti. It's always been Shanti. Like, we can acknowledge it at this point that she is the one who's running everything here.
Yeah.
Down to, I mean, later on the conversation she has at the boxing gym about Jenard and just her interactions with him. Because once her trust starts to waver of him, how does that look for Jenard?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So now Stacey and Claudia because Stacey goes to see Claudia, get more information about the Marquez Cartel. Claudia tells her that she can get Tommy on tape confessing to the murder. And Stacey agrees that if she can get Tommy on tape, she'll get her time reduced. So, you know, the whole thing of getting him on tape and confessing to moving drugs for the Estrada cartel on tape is basically the way out, getting her reduced her sentence, and eventually, as we see later on in the episode and whatnot, was the outcome she's looking for, but it wasn't by this Barrett. But at the end of the day, it says, like, you know, if you drag your feet, she also wants her to also testify against Ortega as well too. But she says, like, the moment that he finds out, then that's just going to be a problem. Like, yes, Ortega,
you drag your feet, I'll leak it to him that you're working with me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, what immediately means that she's going to get killed. Like, but again, you see how the characters who we think are straight and narrow and the paths they go down just to prove to us they are not.
Yeah,
Stacey she's crooked now. You just literally threatened to leak that you're working with me to a cartel boss so he can kill you if you don't do what I want you to do, which is bring this right
man. Next we get Rashawn, Tommy, and Diamond. Rashawn is the head of SOD Money Gang. Him and Soldier Boy.
Because that's a SOD. I said SOBs. I didn't even know they had a gang on this show.
Yeah, Draco. Hey, why? Hey, you know what? Soldier Boy needs to be on the show.
No,
swap Rashawn out right now and put in Soldier Boy.
No. We don't need. We got YNs. You don't need no YUs on the show. We got YNs, no YUs, no young uncles in this junk being reckless as shit. Like, you do have Soldier Boy. It's D-Mac and Soldier Boy. You got Soldier Boy in the show already.
Hey, one thing nobody can say about Soldier Boy is he's about that life. Him and the baby are two people that can absolutely be characters on shows, play exactly who they are in life, and can nobody question it. Like,
no, I would question Soldier Boy because I question every story he's told.
Hey, he really did. Baby, he really did kill that person that tried to rob him. So did the baby.
Which one? When he busts up in the joke and he saw fire, he's like, and I'm fine like that.
Yep. He did. No, he really did. Though. No, he Ray J'd the story, but he really did shot the person though.
Exactly. Yeah. Say it again. He Ray J'd the story though.
Yeah, but he really did. He really did do it though. You know, the baby did his, made a few songs about it, and let them know like that's what I'm on.
The baby and Gucci could be on any show because, you know, whatever they say, they did it. We ain't gonna question that. Soldier Boy, I don't know. He up there with Ray J. I would put Ray J on the show because clearly
all legit. I mean, clearly. well, what's his name was on the show at one point? Jeremiah. So yeah, I guess Ray J.
We're not gonna count. We're gonna act like we don't even remember Jeremiah was on the show.
But anyway, so yeah, the Sons of Destruction, SODs, him and Malik, they come in with Tommy and letting them know that, like, SODs, we're out of the coalition because they don't like the old head mentality, to kind of sit back and observing. They ready to do things their way. And when they drop it off, there's a couple of signs that you can tell that everything wasn't aligned. Malik definitely gave Tommy this extended look and grab, which Tommy was kind of like, that's kind of off. And then ultimately there was a note that let them say, we're gonna meet up. So the vote clearly wasn't unanimous, and now they feel like Malik is up for grabs. Maybe he wants the top spot, so we're gonna give him the top spot and make it all happen now. So there's that.
Whenever you see that trick, normally it's with a woman when she's trying to hit on another dude, and she hands him something really, really slow, and it's like a caress of the hands. It was sort of like that with that backpack. You're like, oh, okay. So clearly, like. It's gonna be a power play here.
Yep. So Singh ended up having dinner, and this is basically Singh and this young lady that's basically saying he's coming for Stacy's job, and he's going to use the Ortega case, and using the Ortega case to get her out, and using Claudia to take down Tommy. And they find out that Claudia is valuable in his hand, but he's looking to be, and I think it was here where he basically said, like, if I get her job, then I'm basically invaluable to Ortega. Like, he's going to have to mess with me.
She even told him, like, you're holding information back from them, and if they find out you're holding this information back, they're going to kill you. I think that's the other part too, and that's the one to pay the most attention to, is that they don't seem to be forgiving if you don't tell them all the information that they're looking for.
Yeah. All right, so Jenard and Diamond, and this is basically them just saying, like, well, first and foremost, Diamond was in the earlier conversation with Tommy, where Tommy, I think this was, so Diamond was getting ready to apologize to Tommy about the whole DMAC thing, and he said, don't worry about it. I got a plan to do something for you to do later for me to make this right. And this is where this is at, where Jenard and Diamond meet, and they says, well, we got to have a body. That's just what it is. And in terms of making it up to Tommy, we need to convince King Kilo that it wasn't DMAC that did it. And Jenard's probably like, what? Now, I thought this was interesting. I don't spend too much time here, but it's interesting that Diamond didn't go see King Kilo to do this.
But remember, though, it was I thought it was always Jenard that told King Kilo that it was DMAC. So I was like, oh, it would make sense. You got to be the one to convince him, because you told him it was DMAC.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah, Diamond like,
I feel that.
Yeah.
Oh, so right, because it only would make sense for him to re-walk back what he initially thought. I thought performative wise, it's like Diamond couldn't handle that job.
Oh, that's another thing too. That's not Diamond. No. Because as much as we say that Diamond is a strategic thinker and he does all of this, I don't think he could take disrespect well. And if King Kilo or Big Baby comes in any way, shape, form, or fashion and be a little disrespectful, Diamond could flip.
Yeah.
And not flip in the sense of anger, but flip in a sense of thinking altogether. And he made this say, man, this is better to kill all of them instead of doing this. Yeah. But Jenard's the guy, man. He can do everything, clearly, in this episode. You see it.
Hey,
he can do everything.
I wanted to start off this recap saying that, like, Jenard, who I think in a way has shown his tremendous value in not necessarily being a leader, but being a right hand, because you are as versatile as it get. And that's not to take away to say that he can't be a leader, because he clearly led when Diamond was gone. And he kept it running. I think we just got to give him a little bit more credit. He's a little bit more of a hothead, and you just don't know how unpredictable he could be at times, but he shows that he can do it. He went in there and looked the killer in his face and convinced him that somebody else did it, which was a lie. He has put bodies down. He has made it right with his girl. He has avoided the he has avoided the furious situation. He walked through the eye of the storm and made it out alive. you just gotta give him his props for what it is, man. But yeah, nonetheless, that's what it is. Shanti now, and this is Shanti basically wanting to kind of look herself in the eyes that she needs to get back on her bad bitch shit, and she put that crown on Jenard's head prematurely, and now she's out ready to course correct. It's time for her to make things right. You know,
it's crazy for her to say it that way too. I put the crown on his head too early.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, nigga, I made you.
Yeah.
Like that's a hell of a statement to say.
Yeah. So Vic and Ray now. So Vic gives Ray the donation, $1 million at that. It says it's showing confidence in her candidate. I think the only thing to really make here is that Vic is showing. Well, first of all, I said this to Shane. I like that Vic is back in love. Now, granted, no one's ever going to top Gloria. Is
he in love here?
Yeah, he said it. He confirmed it. He did. That's why I asked it, because exactly.
This seems like love. This seems like the love of survival.
Listen. Let me say, like, I me and you prep, and even though I'm doing the questions, we both collaboratively prep on these interviews and whatnot. Yeah. I realize at this point of an approach in turning the interviews is that if we're doing the recaps and we obviously have this sort of free form conversation, and we want the audience to be a part of it. And again, we don't try to be right. We're not doing these videos of having the answers and just spoiling everything, not like we don't know what it is. Like we genuinely
it down 15 videos.
Yeah, you know that
I'm back to see what we really think about.
None of that, and that's all fine. Y'all love those creators. That's what y'all do. We have barbershop talk in a sense of podcasting, and we watch. We have different thoughts. We come here, we share it with you all, and we get through the show, right? But I realize in terms of interviewing, there's a third voice in this, and it's obviously the actors or the writers or directors. It's like, so what is your thoughts? And even them, like, they won't tell you exactly everything to the T because they don't want to spoil it for you all. They're just a part of the conversation. And the fourth people is obviously you all in the comments and whatnot, right? But like that was the question I had. I was like, it's interesting because it's hard to tell if Vic was in love based on the earlier stuff. In this episode, watching this now, it felt a little bit more reassuring because he said he's in love. And I think Vic is a lover boy. And I think Vic isn't necessarily about trying to be a gangster. I think he does care about the Flynn family, but I don't think he necessarily care about the idea of being everything that Claudia wants to be. I think Vic wants to, and it makes sense when you think about it. Vic wanted the nice car. He wanted the name. That's why he's tatted the way he is. So you want the visibility of knowing he's a Flynn, but he want to be a fuckboy at night. He want to go out in these streets. He want to pull something. He wants to get drunk, but he had Gloria. And I think when you look at it and like really, when you really look at it, he had a bad chick and he was living fine. He had money. He was doing it. He had the bars. Well, he was running the bars. It was his dad bar, but like he had it all set.
He was the face of it all.
Yeah, you know. Yeah. I don't think he's too far away from that, even though he's as a CI. I think the moment he gets back straight, he's like, yeah, I want to get out, leave, and have a chick and be gone. So I think Ray, while it doesn't necessarily make sense on papers, and it's definitely seeming like a little dangerous game, I 100% feel the moment that any woman gives Vic any attention, he's in love. That's why I felt he confirmed it, that he feels like this is love. This feels like an escape. It feels no different than Gloria. It just doesn't come from a place that makes sense.
You literally just described Drake. So Vic is Drake, is what you're saying.
It is not a bad
comparison at all.
I don't think that's a bad frame to make characters on the television. Now, in real life, that's a different thing. But in television, yes.
Even in real life, it makes perfectly good sense. You know how many people in this genre are buying their way into gangs because they want the appearance of this, but they don't want to be part of that life. And we always knew that Vic wanted a separation because of Gloria, because Gloria was never going to be accepted by his family. And he was absolutely in love with her. So you're right. But I just didn't imagine him falling in love. That means this nigga ran a trick on her and fell in love. That is insane.
Hey, but listen, women do it too, though. Run game on somebody to end up actually. Yeah, so I don't.
That's myself. I'm about to say we expect women to do that.
Yeah. But I mean, I think Drake. I think Drake is a lover boy for sure.
Oh, definitely. That's why I say that the analogy fits because that's what Vic is at this point.
Yeah,
Vic is someone who he's a part of the life adjacent.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be a gangster. I never did.
Yeah.
I want to do what I do. I want to make money. I want to live a good life. I want to take care of the woman who I'm with, but I don't want any other parts of this life. And right now, his back against the wall. So that's what throws it off, is because his back is against the wall.
Yeah, I was going to say it's interesting because that's exactly what I was going to say. Everything with Tommy, it reinforces everything we've been saying about Vic the last 3 episodes of this season, and even beyond that. But the moment he's with a girl, he has this sense of confidence. He has this driven ambition. It's the same thing as Gloria, where he's like, yo, fuck my family. We getting out of here. We good. Yep. And I feel like now he's not even looking at the optics of Ray works for Stacy, who owns you, who's imposing forces of Tommy. And you're just in the middle of that, of 2 people who can control your future. And you're just like, yeah, this my girl though. Like, he tried to run game on her and ran a whole game on himself. And I think, it's great. It's great for television.
Just hold on, I'm coming home, ass nigga, Joe. That is crazy.
Hey, listen, for any guy that's watching, don't y'all cap, because I know some of y'all out there talking about she a hoe, and then you in love with her in her messages.
Not only every her messages, day. At night, y'all cuddling up, you up this young snuggled like shit. But you telling your boys like, nah, man, it ain't like that. You just a one-off jump. Okay, keep on lying to yourself. Keep on lying. It's gonna be hard to explain when they get that wedding invitation. And you walking that hoe down the aisle. Better stop lying.
Hey, and invite me, because I love to throw shade via the looks.
Old wedding, I'm gonna be throwing it too.
Because everybody know we done sat in a few of those before. So
hey now.
He's like, oh boy. Hey, you in the crowd throwing matrices, just like, well, that man, I know y'all ain't put together a seating chart for the wedding, but it damn sure looked like it how everybody separated.
Hey, exactly. Jump offs galore. It's crazy what's going on.
Hey, shout out to everybody in love, man. Y'all do y'all thing. We'll see you at the altar. We'll be in the crowd chilling. Hey, you funny as a we're gonna get canceled from our own group of people.
our own friend group is gonna be like, nah, them niggas can't go nowhere. Nowhere else.
Come on, man.
I heard y'all said on that recap.
Yeah. Hey, but y'all know what y'all got yourself into. But anyway, moving on. Where are we at now? So yeah, Vic and Ray. And I think it's going to be interesting to see how love does it become a weakness at any point for him, because that's typically the story with Powers, how love definitely gets people blinded. But I got a weird feeling that love is actually going to be his driving factor for him to actually start doing the right thing. And
hey, you never know with this season. If we look at it, it's a lot of couples in this season.
It is.
Could it be a change of course of love being the thing that gets and separates these people in a positive way instead of the negative way? Yeah, because that would be a twist that no one would expect from a show on Power.
It is the eerie sort of conclusion I made from talking to Joseph. Right, I asked someone, I was like, "What's different about this season with you protecting Maria?" Tommy has never successfully been able to protect anybody, and he didn't give me the look like, well, that's going to be a problem again. So I'm just curious. Like, what does that mean?
Maybe Maria is the one who helps turn Tommy. Maybe Shanti and Jenard work out. Maybe D-Mac and Genesis ride off to the sunset. maybe Vic and Ray end up doing something else, and he becomes a real tech bro.
That's true.
Here. We've ended series BMF on a much worse note than this. So maybe this could be something completely different that, you know, it can, when you leave characters alive that you can pull back from later. And in positive ways, and then maybe we get to see switches later on. So again, no, love is love.
Yeah.
Peace and blessings to everybody out there.
Peace and blessings. So Tommy and Malik now and says, if we're gonna do something, we gotta do it quick. Malik's going to handle the rest of the SODs, making sure they're all aligned. And then Tommy lets him know that, like, we're going to handle Rashawn. We're going to make you king. Claudia and Elise now, the other couple that we mentioned.
Yeah,
now,
I
again,
didn't mention them. I purposely did not mention
them. Well, listen, I asked the hard questions. I asked Lily, I said, is Claudia in love? She said, that's how she approached this, as they're being in love. She said, that's how she frames it. I think it's I think, listen, let's just keep it 100 here now, too. A lot of people are in love for the convenience of benefit.
Yes.
And
I think she's in love.
I do too. I really do.
In love here.
I really do.
It's ending positively for either one of them.
Oh, definitely not Elise. Elise is 100% being written in the fact of like it's not going to be good.
Yeah,
but
it's a matter of time.
To me, which one does Tommy get to first? Is how I look at this.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's how I look at this.
Or it will be, and it's a beautiful callback to what happened between him, Ghost, and Angie. Which is worse? Me killing you or killing the person that I find out you love? If I kill the person you love, you're gonna wish you were dead at that point.
I tell you that at the end of this episode where Tommy says time to visit the devil, which is interesting because Tommy was kind of proclaimed as the devil at times too, right? That look in Tommy's eyes is the canceling Christmas Tommy that we know from Power, that it doesn't take many episodes for him to do what he has to do. That's the one thing about Tommy that I've always enjoyed throughout the entirety of him being on the show. If you want somebody, you're not waiting 3 episodes. The moment his eyes is set on somebody, and I think Angie's the only one because we just knew how big of a domino effect that would be. But
he
Proctor,
knew how big it would be.
Out of there. I forgot his name that quick. And
Holly,
out of there. Out of there.
He made up his mind that day. It's like,
out of there. I can't think of his name right
Ash?
now.
Out of there. In a different way.
The Latino guy, that everybody love. Oh my God, why is his name slipping out of my head?
Oh, the partner. Damn it.
Yeah. Oh my God, why is his name slipping out of my head?
I was about to say the most racist thing and call that man Jose. His name is not Jose.
Yeah, but either way, Tommy.
Yeah.
I wonder how many bodies Tommy got. Hey, y'all help us out in the comments. I ain't gonna Google this. How many bodies does Tommy got?
A lot.
of named
of significant characters.
Yeah, named characters. Yeah. How many bodies does Tommy got? But anyway, that look lets me know, like, yeah. But anyway, Claudia and Elise, and Claudia says we need to get him on tape because if we can get him on tape, that could, in terms of him delivering the drugs for the Viagra Triangle, that'll get us out. And of course, Elise is like, what if he catches me? And then she said, don't worry about it. You do this, the nightmare's over. We get him on tape. We'll destroy Tommy, and then I will reclaim the Flynn legacy and do what Walter couldn't do. So Claudia's still on her ambition to be the face and head of the Flint organization.
Yeah.
Although there's a lot of other rules in place. Yeah. Institutional rules, shall I say at this rate.
There you go.
That doesn't quite a lot of that, but that's no here nor there. So Vic and Stacy now, she said, you still haven't given me anything. Give me something on Egan now. And now Vic. So here's what's interesting before I start to go over this. The information that Vic gave to Stacy, did you find it valuable?
No.
Did you think it was interesting that he knew exactly what to give her?
Yes, because Vic's not stupid.
So he is. That's the thing. But again, this is why I keep saying the love thing. Is it him wisening up now? Because this is not a typical Vic move. Vic has been so back against the wall, he doesn't know how to react in certain situations. To see him actually,
he still wants out.
He does, but I mean, like, I don't know. I guess I was just surprised that he was able to give enough, but not too much.
Just enough where I get. But that's what Vic's been doing this whole time to both sides. Really, I'm giving you just enough information where you still think I'm valuable, but it won't put me in danger.
Yeah.
He's doing the same thing with Tommy. I'm giving you just enough information.
Yeah.
He hedging his bet. Which one of them is going to get me out of this thing first?
Yeah. So I was a little bit surprised by that, but he just lets him know, like, yeah, Tommy's suspended the CBI business. The Albanians got all of my bars. She wants the Albanian's name, which is easy for Vic. That helps him get back what he wants there.
Yeah.
But he just wants to move on with his life. And then immediately Tommy texts him and said he needs the nickel now. What does that mean? I had an old head moment there. I was like, what does that code name mean?
I'm about to say that's the only reason I knew what it was is because I'm old. Because I have not heard a gun called a nickel.
That's what I thought, but I was like, really? I forgot. I forgot he gave Vic the gun.
Yeah.
Yes, I totally forgot he gave D-Mac. He gave D-Mac's gun to Vic, and now he needs the gun back because he's getting ready to plant it. Yeah. I forgot. Yeah, because I was like, he gave him a gun. I thought he was giving him a gun to like protect himself or something for whatever reason.
No.
It clicked.
But again, I've not heard someone call a gun. Again, I also don't know what old head y'all got trapped in the writer's room, and you said, hey, I need an old word for gun. And somebody said a nickel. And they're like, nickel, what that? Nickel.
What's the other word? Like steel or flame?
That's like 2000s and up. A burner. Like that's that is. A nickel. Feel like I got Tupac and Notorious B.I.G. lyrics talk about a nickel-plated burner. And that's why I get the nickel burner. Like that's an old head saying for a gun.
Yeah, I said it.
But also if it's in code, because if someone else is looking at Vic's phone, I didn't say I need the gun now. I said I need a nickel. And they're like, what does that mean?
Oh, it's a lot of code talking. Like Claudette got wings. Definitely was an interesting way of she's free.
Hey, but what my girl said, Red Bull will give you wings, so does Cardi B.
What? Anyway, so Shanti now she's on the street, and if there's one thing about Chicago streets you're gonna get is bikes and studs. But
dog, I'm sorry. I just got to say this to get it out my way. I didn't know this person was named Manny Fresh, right? And when I hear the name, I said, wait a minute. Call her Manny Fresh because she's a stud and Manny Fresh looks like a stud.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. It is absolutely perfect.
Oh my God, that's so fucking funny to me.
I love it. I love it to the T. I absolutely love it. But this is Shanti and Manny this going over how they can get in business together and just talking about product, who got the product, who got the customers, and so on. And yeah, I'll go back to the callback in a minute. But at this point now, Shanti is recognized by Manny's partner. It says, oh, I know you are. You Shanti Showstopper. Yeah, boxer, right? Yeah, you Jenard's bitch. And she says, oh, you fucking with that fiending ass stealing bitch? And said, he robbed me. He stole my daddy's chain. If I see him, I'll put him to sleep. You could have, she said, we could have had a bright future if he wasn't fucking with that clown. She also said you could have led with that as well, too. So here's a couple of things. Obviously, everybody knows this is the callback from last season where Jenard jumped in the Escalade, took the product, hit her, pistol whipped her, and then took her chain because he was just trying to get down on. He was down on his luck. He was down bad. And take nothing away from Manny, because based on how it was played out last year, you would think like Manny was a bitch because Jenard just went in there and did what he did. But Manny was so thrown off, like, you robbing me? It would be like me robbing you, or you robbing me. It's like, all right, like if you got to do this, you damn sure got to be hurting, bro, because this does not make sense. And that's sort of the approach you had. So I really loved how, like, throughout that, now we see Manny in another light where you can be like, oh, Manny's just talking because look what happened to Manny last time. But like, Manny's like, nah, I'm really going to put this man down, to the point that we know Shanti's no bitch, right?
Yeah.
But you got to look. A couple of words has changed, and Shanti was looking like she was ready to tuck her tail. Like, the threat hit, demoralized her as a character. Like, you fucking with that clown. Like, your name is bad in these streets. And she had nothing to say. I really did like appreciate that, to the point that I also asked her, I was like, basically what means the most to Shanti now, because Shanti wants so much to be in a meeting with Che, want to run things, love Jenard, But it seemed like when it came down to everything that's been happening, the moment that her name was bad in the streets, we seen her at the most unconfident, the most confused, the most, I don't think depression runs in this moment, but you damn sure look like she was depressed, like in the corner, like, damn, man, I'm bad. So what did you think about
the chick with the clown?
Yeah,
I think that's what hurt her more than anything. One, also, that Jenard did that because Shanti knows Manny and she possibly knows Jenard and went Manny. So she's like, if he did that to you, and it brings her back to all this happened when Jenard was hooked on drugs. Because the moment she says, and you dealing with that fiend ass nigga, it brings it all back to Shanti. Like, damn, I am. Like, that's a weakness of his. And now the streets know I'm like, that it carries on to me. Like, your weakness goes on to your partner out in these streets. Like, you can't be with a dope fiend and to be surprised when people treat you like a dope fiend. It's the same thing we talked about earlier when we said guilt by association with Stacy and Tommy and all of them. Same thing here with Shanti and Jenard. It's guilt by association. And we saw it did look like she was immediately depressed. Like, how the hell am I gonna get out of this? Like, if his name is this bad in the streets, where will we ever get respect from people? But Manny kept it real. Like, this could have been so much better if you weren't dealing with that suck ass nigga. I love that. She kept 100% real with her. Like, nah. As much as I love the scene later on between Manny and Jenard, because that's also a real nigga scene there. But this was a real, like, wake-up call for Shanti, for her to understand how it looks to be with Jenard right now.
I also love the actor too. She's been on Dark Matters, I think that the Apple TV Plus show. Of course, everybody from The Chi has been on The Chi. And some other things as well too. So,
but that is a great show to be on. That's an awesome show on Apple TV.
Oh, they're talking about The Chi. I was gonna say what? He said it's a great show to be on. I was like, oh, The Chi.
Did you say that because when I said we wasn't covering The Chi, is that what you're trying to bring up?
No, I just never heard you ever praise The Chi ever.
Never did. I didn't praise it there either. I'm not saying it's a bad show.
No, I thought you were saying that's a great show, and I said you should be on The Chi too. He's like, yeah, that's a great show to be on. I was like, are you praising The Chi? Oh yeah. Dark Matters great. Yeah, absolutely.
I've not seen 2 episodes of The Chi.
Shout out to The Chi first 3 seasons, I think, and I just got off there. I just got off. I don't know. I got on there when my man Luke James got in there for a little bit. Then I just didn't catch up anymore. But it's all good. It'll soon be all available to binge, all in one place. Maybe I'll pick it up.
They on their final season coming up.
Yeah. Good for them for having a long running show though. Sure.
Awesome. Like, especially a black show that ran this. It's the longest running black dramatic sitcom.
Drama. Even through controversy too. They made it happen.
They lost their big lead at one point in time. So they no knock against The Chi. It's just no. That time we was on Snowfall and this and that, and kind of hard to fit another show that was in that vicinity into what we do.
Hey, shout out to everybody that was covering it all. Y'all did it.
Shout out to everybody who in the comments for 3 years straight. Every time we say recommend another show,
but we might
be doing The Chi.
Yeah, but we were covering Godfather Harlem that people wasn't covering as well too, and we was covering Your Honor, another one that everybody wasn't covering when it first came out too. By the way, then it got hot.
Yeah. On Netflix.
Yeah. Hey man, to tap in with us. We're gonna steer you on the right direction.
Hey, we even covered one episode.
More stuff to come
of hip hop. Was it Hip Hop Murders?
No, don't recall. All right, so Che there with Che, Miguel Cruz, all his people. They beating him with a chain. Like, holy hell! Didn't dispose of his body. Yeah. But anyway, Che, Tommy, and Diamond roll up. I think the only thing to really make here is that Che has told Tommy more than enough. Do not start a turf war in my Chicago. Yeah. And at the end of the day, he says, I think this is time for us to strike to Ortega. He's low on bodies and product. And then he says, you know what? Triple my product. And if I don't make it happen, at the end of the day, you can treat me like you did that person or whatnot. And even when he makes that deal, which he agreed to do so, Miguel looking like that's a lot of product. He looked like he was unconfident that Tommy could do what he's doing. And then Chase says, listen, interfere with my pipeline, I will feed you to my what type of dog did he say? Chihuahua? Cocker Spaniels, yeah.
Yeah. I thought it
alive.
was Chihuahua, but I didn't want to be racist.
Yeah, it was Cocker Spaniels. They pivoted from that for sure. But yeah, and then at the end of the day, he says Miguel said he got something to do. Cruz take care of it. They need to get more bodies and whatnot. Which is very interesting. The move that Miguel makes, a very dangerous move that he made, if you ask me to, because
yes, it was extremely dangerous.
Yeah. Shanti and Jenard now. Of course, Shanti's looking pissed and whatnot. And this is nothing but Shanti just saying that her name's money in the streets, et cetera, et cetera. Jenard says he's gonna make it right. Maria and Miguel, they have a little conversation about having dinner tomorrow. He brings her flowers. He apologized again. He wants to invite her and Tommy to dinner. Because happiness is his family. So of course we know Dominic, Toretto, and all them pulling up as well too. But he says, like, yeah, we're not going to have it quite at my house yet, but you pick any place to have dinner and we'll make it happen. He said, tell me when and where and I'll be there. Now, I think this is interesting because and that's in Miguel about his apologies towards Maria. And I think it is very consistent. I also think it's something you said too, in the sense of like he softens her up in order to deploy some bullshit behind the back. So yeah, so this was the hey, I'm doing something nice so that when I do something wrong, you don't suspect I was doing it. But Maria's too smart to not see that though.
Is she?
I think so. I think so.
Family love can blind you from time to time though.
Yeah, but her love for Tommy, I think, is superseding that.
I think if something happens to Tommy, she'll definitely think Miguel first. But this whole setup that he's doing, it is setting it up for something very tragic that looked like it could happen here. Because you're like, hey, I got the place where you can catch Tommy at. Yeah. Ain't Maria there? Yeah. You think this is gonna leave her alive?
Yeah.
Like it's running down that pathway that she may be collateral damage in some shape, form, or fashion. Because if you know the cartel is going to try to go out and kill Tommy, you can't go out to eat with Tommy because they're not going to care that you're there.
Yeah.
Nor are they going to care about the other bodies around him. They just
especially if Miguel does something wrong, because it doesn't even belong. It doesn't even just pertain to just Tommy at this point. It's like, oh, Miguel did me wrong, and we need to take Tommy. But right. Matter of fact, it goes to your point you made. I think the first episode or second episode, where you said like, yeah, they're gonna turn to bad boys. We're gonna get the Michael Bay moment of the enemy is my friend. Miguel's clearly getting ready to make Ortega a big enemy. Tommy has already made Ortega a big enemy. But the way he's trying to play nice with Ortega, we know that at some point this is going to flip into the wrong thing. And in order for him to protect his sister, which in fact protects Tommy in a way, they're going to have each other at best interest for a little moment. I actually think that's how we kind of end this season. I think we are going to have the big fight of us not knowing who's going to die and how this is going to end. And we know at some point Miguel's going to have to make the ultimate decision.
You said end the season or like episode 5?
End the season. Oh, you think that quick?
Because you know what? Because they can't have a cliffhanger because this is it.
No. See, it is it for Chicago. Well, we all
Tommy.
Right.
But they've already confirmed Tommy in another show, so we know Matt is. I'm not going to say it because I don't know who knows the news, but Tommy's confirmed in another show already, so we kind of know what's going to happen with Tommy by the end of this.
Yeah,
but everyone else is up for grabs here. But I think Power does this thing now where they're not biding time. If you're going to see something tragic happen, you're going to get it early. Because I think it sets up a progressive storyline. If something was to happen with Maria, and we all know how explosive episodes 5 can be. If something happens to her early, and then you have to deal with the ramifications of what it looks like for Tommy and Miguel for the rest of the season, that could be something very good to watch, because that could lead them to team up before Tommy realizes that Miguel is the reason it happened. So yeah, they would team up and probably destroy the Marquez Cartel. But then it's going to lead to Tommy killing Miguel.
That's why I don't think episode
leads
5
to an issue with Tommy and Che, because Che already said you two are untouchable to one another.
That's why I don't think episode 5 is something that impacts Miguel, because I think in the granular scope of everything, with the cartel being on the board, the cartel has to be at the big fight. They have to be at the big episode. So we have to say Ortega and Sang, they and the lawyer, they somehow are going to be in. They have to make it to at least episode 8 and 9 and 10. Those are the big pawns that have to at some point. Now what does get in question right now is what happens to the Flynn storyline, because I don't see that needing to make it the whole entire way. And then the other thing that
gotta make it the whole way.
I think I am buying your whole booking of Maria being in the middle for sure. That's the tug of war battle, but you have to figure out a way to get Miguel and Tommy on the same page one time. It would be. And I don't think soon. This is episode 4. I don't think you think they get in a fight next episode. That's too quick. It's not getting. We're not getting a 6. That's what I'm saying. No. 8, 9, and 10 is that window that I start. I think it's
because he's already alerted the cartel of where to find Tommy. So when
he's not going to be. He's not going to. So right. So like let's just say that's what happens. Next episode, Tommy and Maria go out to dinner. Cartel goes after them
with him, with Miguel.
Miguel's not showing up. No way.
His whip part. I think he would, because I think first they're going to try to hit Tommy somewhere else and miss. Tommy's not going to tell Maria that information, and then that dinner's going to be set up, and they're going to show up. It's going to throw Miguel off, and that cartel's going to hit them or try to hit Tommy at that dinner and end up killing Maria, which is going to end up with them two working together. And I know I'm in my Power Facebook group, and it's only going to take 30 seconds. And then it's going to lead to Maria dying, them two teaming up, taking out Ortiz's cartel. Tommy's going to find out that Miguel is the reason that cartel tried to hit him there. He's going to kill Miguel, and it puts him on a collision course with Che the moment he touched Miguel. And I think the Marquez cartel is the red herring. I think the big cartel that we need to be looking at is the Estrada cartel. And what's going to happen if Tommy does something to Miguel and fucks up that pipeline? Because he said it this episode for a reason. Like, Tommy, I told you, if you mess with my pipeline again, I'm going to kill you and your entire family. Something's going to happen, and Che is going to become the big villain for Tommy for the rest of this season.
I mean,
I know that's a lot, but I think that if you could go down that pathway, and I could be completely wrong. I think you could.
I also go back to what you said last week episode too. You're thinking about Maria also possibly being pregnant. That's a lot in one episode here, sir. But then also this is say what you went back to earlier. It also just goes back to just the normal copy and paste trajectory of Tommy's story. He gets the girl, he's in love, she dies, he moves on again. Yeah, like I don't feel like we're gonna get that again. But
unless you think Maria is going to like advance to legacy with Tommy, which would be interesting to see.
That would be
very interesting to see.
Yeah,
but then that pushes, unless Miguel's dead, that's going to push Miguel over there too.
I wouldn't be mad at that either, man. I really wouldn't. I actually
it would be a bad thing.
Yeah, it yeah. I would not. I think people like the Miguel character. I think because
he's a fun character because of the way
he is, and he has so much more depth to expand. Like he's, you see him in his bubbly moments, which I think like. I thought for a moment I was like,
"What happens if Maria dies and Tommy never turns on Miguel?" And instead, it runs out through the season of them trying to take out the Ortez cartel, but he never kills Miguel because in the end, Tommy understands. Tommy's still trying to take out Miguel. In the end, they're just trying to kill each other. If something happens with Maria in the middle, does Tommy blame himself and Miguel? And I'm
just gonna go off on the limb and say I don't have Maria dying this season. It just feels it's just too much of the same thing over and over. I also think that Miguel and Tommy will be on the same side at some point. And I don't necessarily mean that they're going to be teammates going forward and beyond, but I think there will be a moment of saving grace between them. It's also interesting. We're talking so much about them. Where does Diamond and Jenard play in all of this? Again, the Flynns, where do they evolve in all of this?
I said last episode what I thought was going to happen with them. Well, I have Tommy killing them. I have Tommy definitely killing Diamond.
Oh,
unfortunately.
Boy.
Yeah, I have him killing Diamond.
I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, let's get the rest of this episode. We're still not even done this joint at all either.
Exactly.
So talked about Che, Tommy, Maria. So Tommy now goes to the club to make the drop, and Tommy could tell that something was off with Elise. It's funny he didn't even remember her name, but he was able to pick up that he knew she was on something. She was acting real nervous and only finds out that she was trying to record him and tells her he doesn't have time to kill her, but be very careful on what you do. And also tell Claudia I said hi. And he said, hey, don't you remember you wanted to be drug dealers too? You got what you wanted.
You in this we in it together.
Yep. Now Ortega's in jail, gets a call from Miguel, as Miguel gave him an accommodation, gave him an officer that works in the jail to give him the head. But anyway, he says Miguel tells Ortega the next time my phone rings, I will ping the logistics on where you can kill Tommy. So as we talked about, Stacy and Sang says the judge has suppressed the drugs. And now Ortega and their team are looking to file a dismissal. So because of what Sang has been able to do, he's basically trying to aid Ortega getting out of jail. And Stacy yells at him to keep this case alive, as this depends on her running for mayor.
And shout out to the realistic nature and questions that Stacy has in this scene that aren't talked about enough. When she says, why would they have a right to privacy in an abandoned warehouse, which is true. Like, one number was missing, but they still would have no right to privacy. So even if we hit the wrong address and we lucked up on something, it would only matter if that was a residential warehouse. But if it's a warehouse where they should not have a sense of privacy, that don't throw out all the evidence that we found. I'm just mad it's not clicking to her yet that how did you lose that appeal? That's kind of weird.
Yeah. Yep. Now Jenard back at the scene of the crime. He goes to the Crown Vic and he goes to Joey because he needs to get the chain back, because he needs the chain back in order to take it back to Manny. This is like some side quest missions for your favorite RPG players out there. But anyway, so he goes to get Manny's chain back, but also convinces him to take some of his dope, which is the dope that D-Mac had got from
fentanyl
the
pack.
6-7s. Yeah, the fentanyl pack from the 6-7s, the 9-7s, knowing that it wasn't good. And not only does he know it wasn't good, because everybody knows this wasn't good and it could kill him. But anyway, he does. And then he ends up taking it and it does kills him. And he takes the drugs and leaves him dead in the car, which is kind of crazy because Joey was his guy. I mean, it was his baby at one point, you know?
He seemed sad at first.
Yeah, he was. He lost his babe. Like he was down bad with him in the back of the Crown Vic.
Sure enough was. Ain't no telling what else they possibly did in the back of that Crown Vic.
Now we get JP and D-Mac, which is JP's first time this season, right? I mean, JP just basically letting them know, like, man, no matter what, I got your back, no matter what it is. D-Mac asking for where's Kate, because Kate owes him $20 for all the numbers. But
that was the sweetest thing possible. JP know you wasn't asking about Kate because she owed you $20. You was asking about Kate because you miss her.
Yeah.
Like that was a dope scene to have there. Of him constantly saying, and if you hear from the old lady, tell her she still owed me $20. It's more like saying, let me know that she's okay. Like that's what made that sweet. Yeah.
And then D-Mac, to double down on that, he apologizes for all the words that he used towards JP. So yeah, I like this scene. It was good.
Yeah.
Elise and Claudia now tells he couldn't get it done and Tommy's crazy. And Elise is like, man, no one's out here to protect me, man. Like, so she's feeling very vulnerable by everything. You keep trying to throw her in the eye of the storm. But Claudia says, I'm going to change that. I only been focusing on myself. You won't be alone for long. I have one more card to play. So looks like Claudia's getting ready to roll out that trump card to get herself out, which she ends up doing later on, we know. So Jenard rolls up to Manny, gives him the chain and money. And basically Jenard just apologized, saying that he was all down bad and he was wrong for everything he did. Said, like, please don't take it out on Shanti. And like, yeah, it's not right for you to be fucked up with her. She don't deserve that. And Jenard gives him money, the chain, said the money was right. And then Manny, this is a very improv scene, which Chris did tell me that they was able to riff off of each other, because Manny made it very clear that your girl fine and I will take her from you. And he says, nah, babe, we all good over here. Real dick. Good night, baby. Completely hilarious still. But like, yeah. So he makes it right with Manny. And we'll talk about that in a minute. Tommy, Rashawn, and Diamond. Tommy comes in, kicks in the bite. Diamond comes in as well, too, to corner Rashawn. Who now, you know, the leader of the SODs, but they're getting ready to take him out of there. First and foremost, they cut his tongue. And then after that, first of all, two things. Tommy turned into a little bit of a millennial too in this episode. It's the second time he's asking to record something. He's like, hey, give me your phone. Let me record something there. So you recording this, you know, recording them killing dude, getting the pictures and so on. Yep. Drops the engine block on him, which I asked Gary about this. Like, this was not really something you see in Power, where this measure of like gore and special effects and how they did that, they nailed it. Look good, look convincing as well too. But then they also leave the gun, the DMAC gun with them. They set the whole thing up so that Rashawn looks like is the one that is responsible for killing King Kilo's nephew, Mad Dog. But yeah, them cutting the tongue, crazy, absolutely crazy. There's that. So Vic and Ray. So Ray's loving the views of that penthouse, man. But he gets up there trying to profile her, and it looks like Ray, who he thinks is some white privileged girl, really did come from a little bit of some adversity and struggle to get where she's at. And she didn't like that. So this is where the love officially kicks in, because she tries to step off and Vic wants to make it right. He wants to dance and so on. And they dance, even though Jason doesn't look like a dancer to her, as she said. No. Me neither, too. Shanti and Jenard. I think the only way to really put this is that Jenard comes in and says he makes it all right and so on. So you got it handled. Says Shanti's in business with her. Now you gotta get Diamond to use Diamond to get introduced to Che. She's happy, she's surprised. Yeah, Diamond, time to go see the king. Guess where his title come from. But he doesn't want to. First of all, Jenard also shuts it down too, because Shanti starts asking questions, but he's like, I'm not on time arguing, let me handle this. And we can tell she just hates to be on the outside of everything. Yeah. But yeah, Diamond now, because of them getting this all handled and whatnot, all roads them going to letting King Kilo know what the deal is. Stacy, Marks, and Claudia now, and it says, the next time I see you, you'll be in the courtroom. I can get you Tommy, but I can't do it in here. And the moment that he hears that I'm out, he's going to try to kill me. So I'm trusting you're going to keep me alive. So Claudia's looking for the feds to keep her alive as she puts herself out as bait. And said we can get him on attempted murder. And I took something from him that, he obviously wants before. We obviously know that's killing Liliana. And then she says, you testify against Ortega and I'll see what I can do. So that's what Claudia whole thing. She just gave in. She said, I'm going to flip against Ortega and the Marquez Cartel.
One thing she was not willing to do.
Yeah, I'm going to put myself out there, get myself set as bait, because I know he wants to come after me for killing Liliana. King Kilo and Jenard. Only thing to really make here is that Jenard gives him the pictures, convinces him, and so on. And also says, King Kilo says, like, well, I need confirmation from the SODs that Rashawn was even robbed, which is easy because Malik would just and Malik would just basically just confirm that. And then he says, man, I'll still whack D-Mac for good measure. It's nothing. I thought that was actually a good extra little cherry on top to really convince King Kilo. And I think that might be the last time we see Big Baby on Power, man. I think
in 3 to 5. 3 to 5. Last time we see Big Baby from 3 to 5.
Oh man. So now
shout out to Big Baby though, because that's part of my childhood growing up. But everybody remember him at LSU and everything else he did. Still messed up that he in where he in, but it's good to see King Kilo on here. I was just hoping he would get out and we get to see like in the streets. But no, absolutely not.
Nope. Diamond and Jenard now. He says, I think Jenard says, I think he's satisfied. Business is going to continue. Jenard, like I pulled off a hat trick, which we talked about earlier in this episode, that Jenard really showed his worth and everything he can do. And with that, he basically earned his right to come and see Che with him. He said, fuck Tommy, I did this for us. And while Diamond tried to bring up some Tommy stuff and pissed Jenard off, and he just walked off. And although it doesn't happen yet, but I think this was the moment where he realized, like, I got to get him in there with Che.
I got to have my brother's back more than Tommy's. I think that's what he realized. Yep.
Yeah. So I think it's inevitable now to the point we see that meeting set up and Jenard is there. And I think Jenard is just going to continue to show, his worth in all these different situations. So Diamond and Tommy now, and they welcome Malik to be on top and gave him some extra cash for his grieving. Now, D-Mac they told D-Mac, like, we took care of the problem. You good to be outside, officially back in CBI. And he says, I'm going to baptize you in this life like Kanan did for me and Ghost. Y'all love a good reference. D-Mac has no clue who it is. Y'all do, though. We do. We all know.
That's what I said. That's the story for another time.
Yeah. Shout
out to Power Origins.
Yep. But you lock in with me now and me only. And then Tommy get a text from Vic saying Claudia's out of jail. And he says, when I call you, it's going to be time to put in work. Saying also in the next scene says, we have a problem. Claudia Flynn is working with the feds and agreed to testify, obviously letting the Marquez Cartel know. And then we see Claudia walking out of jail with security around her. She looked good as I don't know what, too. Yeah. And then Tommy sees her and says it's time to terrorize the devil. And that's this episode. I know we went a little bit extra, but there was a lot to really make, to kind of plan, to theorize, to reset for next week's episode. But it is what it is. It's episode 4. It's the final season. And we know episode 5 is called The Last Dance.
That's it. Something explosive is about to happen here.
Which we know when you talk about The Last Dance, somebody got to take it personal. So, and that's a nod towards Michael. So, they got to go crazy in this episode.
And Chicago?
Yeah,
all together?
You already know. So, Diamond and Jenard strengthen their relationship over a common enemy while Tommy ties up a loose end.
Who's the common enemy?
Strengthen the relationship over a common enemy. I wonder who that could be. Who you think it is?
Tommy?
Not yet. That's too soon, bro. You trying to terrorize the right and everything's flowing good. That's too soon for Diamond to flip on Tommy. Then immediately, like,
so who else could be? Who is a common enemy right now? CBI.
It's got to be somebody in like the coalition or somebody.
The Albanians, maybe. I mean, the Serbs. My bad.
Serbs. Yeah, Serbs. I was just about to say that. Yeah,
but then
could be the Serbs.
You fuck with Tommy's business. The moment you fuck with the Serbs, you're fucking with Tommy's business.
That's an I am literally drawing a blank.
But then they can't really kill the Serbs because they need the Serbs, because Diamond needs the Serbs to move the weight.
Yeah.
Unless it's Miguel. But Diamond knows better than to mess with Miguel.
But Jenard and Miguel are good.
Are they? I mean, I know he snitched a couple times.
I'm sorry, Jenard and Miguel are good. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, then who's the
good synopsis, y'all. Not giving us too much, a lot to think about. And we'll be here to tap in for it. So y'all let us know y'all thoughts about who y'all think that common enemy is going to be. And also, Tommy ties up a loose end. You already know what that must mean. And this Lucas has predicting in episode 5, things are going to get explosive yet bloody. So we'll see what y'all say. But yeah, let us know y'all thoughts about episode 4 today. Any other things we might have missed or any other comments y'all may have, all that other good stuff, we're going to leave it at that because we got to get out of here. We way over our usual hour with this, but we appreciate y'all watching and sticking through to the entire end. We'll see y'all back next week for another recap, review, breakdown, Easter egg, and explain, reaction, theories, all this trailer breakdowns, all that stuff that y'all look for.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're not going to get any trailer breakdowns here. Y'all know that now. Absolutely not.
Trailer breakdown number 4, all of that.
Exactly.
Here at the Coaching Collective. We appreciate y'all watching. We'll see y'all back very soon.